Did you miss me? I just dropped a video a few hours ago for those of you that's been on the channel. If this is your first time here, I am your host, Troxel of Detroit Lions Pride, and today we got a second video, and this one is on the 2022 Detroit Lions practice squad, and a second cut happened today. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. If you can hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell, we can get there hopefully by the week 6 bye week. And with that being said, cue that intro. It's showtime. We're going to start off with Jamar Jefferson. And Jamar Jefferson was cut today. He was a former 7th round draft pick in 2021. He should clear waivers, and if he does, he should be placed on the practice squad. Now, Jamar Jefferson's career stats is he played in 7 games. He had 15 attempts, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 receptions with 23 yards as well. There have been 13 practice squad players announced, with only 3 roster spots open on the practice squad, possibly for David Blau, possibly also for Jamar Jefferson, and a player to be named at a later date, maybe a Khalil Pimpleton, who is currently visiting the New York Giants. Now, who made the list? And I'm going to read it real quickly. Running back Justin Jackson, wide receiver Tom Kennedy, wide receiver Maurice Alexander, tight end Derek Deese Jr., tight end Garrett Griffin, offensive tackle Dan Skipper, offensive tackle Obinna Easy, edge rusher James Houston IV, defensive tackle Bruce Hector, linebacker Jared Davis, linebacker Anthony Pittman, cornerback Savion Smith, and nickel corner AJ Parker. Now, my thoughts on the practice squad. As you know from yesterday's video of my initial 53-man roster, I told you guys possibly a Justin Jackson, a Tom Kennedy, a Maurice Alexander, Derek Deese Jr., Garrett Griffin, a Dan Skipper, Obinna Easy, James Houston, who I said should be number 1 on that list to bring back on the practice squad. Bruce Hector, who I said last year was on the practice squad as well, also would be brought back. Anthony Pittman, they were high on him last year. He got injured. He didn't really show anything this offseason, but obviously they see something in him, could land back on the practice squad. And also AJ Parker could have made the practice squad. Now, everybody made the practice squad outside of Savion Smith and Jared Davis. I didn't think that they really had a chance, but obviously they see something in him to develop. Obviously, too, Jared Davis, you know, he used to play next to our linebacker coach in Kelvin Shepard. So, I mean, it might be a little bit of, buddy a little bit here and a little bit there, but they see something in him. And if they can try and have a year to hone in on his craft, not have a whole lot of pressure of, oh, look, I'm on Sunday actually playing in games, where I'm taking a step back. I'm looking at the scout team and, trying to imitate the next team that's on the list and get these guys that are on the 53-man roster, try to get them up to speed, give them different looks, things of that nature. I mean, who knows? Maybe we can have something in a Jared Davis. We did draft him, when he was a draft prospect, did not pan out. We cut him. He went to the Jets, came back. I mean, how it comes full circle. So, I mean, I could definitely see why we brought him back. Savion Smith, that was the biggest question mark for me because as we seen from the Pittsburgh Steelers, I mean, he was, put that man on a frying pan because he was getting sizzled. At some point I felt sorry for him because they were picking on him. I mean, everybody was picking on him, from Kenny Pickett to Mitch Trubisky to even Mason Rudolph. I mean, when you're getting carved up by Mason Rudolph, it's a long day at the office because, yeah, you're getting fried like fried chicken. Come on now. Let's keep it a buck. But outside of that, I'm really happy that Tom Kennedy made the list. I'm really happy that Justin Jackson made the list. Derek Deese Jr., who is an undrafted free agent. I like seeing stuff like that because, he's an undrafted guy. Sometimes it only takes one injury. Now, I'm not wishing injury on nobody. I hate injuries. I don't care if you're playing for the Packers or not. I hate injuries. Point blank, period. But it only takes one injury for you to get that one chance on an NFL roster in the regular season, and the rest can be history, a la Tom Brady. Obviously he wasn't on the practice squad, but look at guys like, there was a few guys that was on Danny Amendola. There was a couple huge names that really carved themselves a Hall of Fame career, really. They started their season or their career on the practice squad. They kept building. They kept getting hungrier and hungrier. And finally, they just struck. And, hey, the rest was history. They're now in the Hall of Fame. Kurt Warner, for everyone. Guy was bagging groceries. The St. Louis Rams took a shot at him, went on the practice squad, got back onto the 53-man roster, and the rest was history. Now he's a Hall of Famer. So, I'm not saying Derek Deese Jr. is going to be a Hall of Famer by any means necessary, but I'm just saying, just because you start your career on the practice squad doesn't mean that's the be-all, end-all. Just keep working, keep honing in on your craft, get better. And, maybe you'll find yourself on the 53-man roster. Maybe not next year or the year after, but, maybe by year 4 or something like that, you can latch on and be on the 53-man roster. Dan Skipper, that was almost like an obvious, just because, he is the next man up if there's an offensive line that goes down. Obviously, he played with the starters last year with all the injuries that we sustained on the offensive line a year ago in 2021. He's familiar with the system. He knows the system. He's been here for quite some time. So, he is definitely going to be one of those quote-unquote protected players on the practice squad almost every week, because I don't think they would want to get rid of Dan Skipper. They'll probably make Obinna Easy a little bit more available just because he is so raw. I am kind of happy that he did get picked up on the practice squad, Obinna Easy. Yeah, he did almost get David Blau killed out there on the football field, but he's only been playing football for 7 years. Outside of that, I like the practice squad list, and then we're going to possibly add David Blau and also Jamar Jefferson. Obviously, Jamar Jefferson really fell out of favor in one calendar year, and I think, he can try to work himself back into motion. Get that dog mentality back into your system. I think he got a little bit of complacency when it came to, hey, I'm on the roster. I can't do no wrong. I can't be cut. Sometimes players, they need to get reminded a little bit. Same thing, with us YouTubers. Sometimes we're so hot that, we hit a brick wall and just hey, we get brought back down to realism of, hey, look, sometimes we just got to hashtag stay humble. I like this list. Obviously, like I said yesterday's video, a lot of these players that I did mention, almost everybody outside of Jarrad Davis and also it was Jarrad Davis and Savion Smith. Outside of those two, everybody that I said made the list. I didn't expect David Blau to be cut. I didn't actually expect Jamar Jefferson to be cut. Both of them were cut. They do need to be on the waiver wire for 24 hours. Give every team a legit chance to try and pick them up if they want them. If not, they will try and bring them back, according to Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. So I'm excited about that. And because I didn't really want David Blau to be lost for us. I thought that we had somebody, he kind of embodied what Detroit is about. And Jamar Jefferson, he's still young. He only was in the league for a year. So, he has those quote-unquote fresh legs, to bring him back, compete with Justin Jackson. I really like what this franchise is doing. Outside of the earlier video, hashtag FNS. I definitely want you guys to still spam my chat, hashtag FNS, because Nate Sudfeld has got to go. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you didn't do all the fun stuff by subscribing, clicking that bell, and smashing that notification bell, definitely do so. I am your host, Troxel, and leave it in the comment section below what your thoughts on the 13 players that were signed on the practice squad, also the Jamar Jefferson cut. What are your thoughts on bringing back David Blau and Jamar Jefferson if they clear waivers? Definitely let me know in the comment section below. Definitely also put in the comment section below hashtag NFS. And with that being said, I am Troxel. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody. Hashtag NFS. One Pride. Peace.